Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, The Girls from Earth by Frank M. Robinson.
Mike McDonald is the name. Firm of Beagle and McDonald, Interplanetary Promotions, number 1 Park Avenue, New York. Drop in sometime. Brand new offices. Had them decorated by one of the biggest guys in the business. You know, it's hard to believe that only 6 months ago, me and Charlie Beagle, my associate, were stranded in a one-tank mining town on Mars. Let me tell you about it.
Here comes the waiter.
Play it cool.
Yeah, but we got no dough.
Play it cool, I said.
Gentlemen,
I'll have the sirloin.
one sirloin. Earth or Martian?
Well, what's the difference?
Well, the Earth sirloin's from genuine steers, $24 a pound. The Martian sirloin's from the domestic sloofer, $2.
Charlie, you ever tasted Sloofer? We'll have the domestic.
Very good. A beverage?
Johnny Coffee?
We ran out of coffee in 1997. Haven't been able to get any. Try the muggle juice.
Muggle juice?
It's a Martian vegetable. Has a pleasant narcotic effect.
You better make it whiskey. Whiskey?
That we got.
Fine. My friend will have the same.
Yes, sir.
Mike, would you mind telling me how we're going to pay for this sloofer steak?
Relax. I'm thinking.
And even more important, how are we going to get out of this burg?
Charlie, what we need is a mark.
A mark?
A sucker. And if I'm not mistaken, this little guy with the glasses coming in now is just what we're looking for. Pardon me, sir. My friend and I are just in from Earth, and we don't know much about the customs here. I wonder if you'd be good enough to let us buy you dinner and tell us something about the town.
Why, that's very kind of you. You needn't buy me dinner, though. After all, you're the guests here.
Well, that's very nice of you. Do join us.
Thank you. My name is Henry Mortensen. I'm geologist for the Interplanetary Mining Company.
Mike McDonald and my friend Charlie Beagle.
How do you do?
Oh, pleasure.
You say you're just in from Earth?
Yes, that's right. Charlie and I are interested in uranium. Just sort of snooping around to see if there's a decent investment up here.
Oh, I see.
You'll forgive me. It's not much of a town, really.
No, I don't suppose it is. After all, you take 20,000 men and plunk them down in the desert like this, and you can't expect much.
20,000 men.
No tomatoes?
Sir?
Tomatoes. Girls.
Girls. Oh, I'd almost forgotten what the word meant. No, you see, the Colonization Board hasn't been very successful in persuading Earth women to migrate here. There are a few female Saturnians, the four-armed variety, but aside from that...
Well, what do the boys do for relaxation?
Well, being a geologist, I'm naturally interested in rock formations.
For relaxation?
A great many of the men indulge in gambling, and of course there are limp phrases every glib day.
Glib day?
We have a 9-day week here on Mars.
Oh.
Tell me, Mr. Mortensen.
Henry.
Tell me, Henry, don't the boys get lonesome for the sight of a woman?
Well, it is a problem. The men sign up for 9-year hitches. Most of them have forgotten what a woman looks like.
Mm-hmm. Do most of these men plan to stay here?
I suppose if they had families, they might. The pay is good, and I suspect most of them had their reasons for leaving Earth.
I see. Well, how about yourself? Suppose you found the right woman, which in this case would be just about any woman.
Oh, I'm very particular.
Oh, I mean any woman who met your rigid specifications. Would you stay?
You mean get married?
Yeah, that's the bit.
Well, I Well, of course, it's out of the question. No woman has ever showed the slightest interest in me.
Well, suppose one agreed to marry you in advance, and she met all your specifications.
Well, I've always wanted a family. Yes, I suppose I'd marry.
That's very admirable. Very, very admirable.
Here's the waiter with our dinner.
Slew for steak, gentlemen. Good luck with it.
Henry picked up the tab, and we got a rough idea how much cash these guys on Mars pack around with them. Enough to choke a galactic telescope is about all. We thanked the little guy and sat around until he left. Then I went to work.
Okay, what do we do now?
Charlie, we get to work.
What work? Oh, card game, maybe?
Listen, these guys been playing cards for 15 years now. We wouldn't have a prayer. I got an idea.
So give.
You still got that Earth magazine, the one with the Hollywood starlet on the cover?
Yeah, in my suitcase.
Good, I want it.
What for?
To make our poster advertisement, that's what's for.
Poster?
Look, Charlie, just picture this. A big poster with that starlet on it, twice as big as life. And underneath, this slogan, I'm coming from Earth to you.
Huh?
Then down in the corner, just this little notice. Applications will be accepted at Beagle and McDonald Agency.
Oh, it's great. But what is it?
What is it? Just the most colossal promotion scheme ever devised by man, that's all.
But what are you promoting?
The easiest thing in the world to promote. And the hardest. Marriage.
Marriage?
Look at it this way, Charlie boy. Here on Mars, we have 20,000 strong Earthmen with but a single thought.
Dames.
Exactly. And on Earth, we have 20 million single dames with but a thought.
Husbands.
So?
Oh, how you going to do it?
All right, now we get this poster made. We put it up. We take applications. $100 a head plus the cost of transportation. We get the $100.
Then we leave.
But first we deliver the girl.
Oh, it's a natural.
A natural. Charlie, it's colossal. What's 20,000 times 100?
$2 million.
Wow, that's our profit.
Wait a minute.
What?
How are we going to line up 20,000 girls and convince them to come up to this desert?
I'm working on that. Come on, we got to find a printer to make our poster.
What do we use for dough?
You huck your watch. Come on, let's go. We got the poster made, and it is a beaut. The artist threw in some extra fullness in the lips and stuck a glass of champagne in one hand. The next step was to rent a little field tent right outside the mining camp. We stuck the poster in front of it and waited for the guys to get through work.
Hey, Tom. Hey, dig this. What do you say we sign up?
What for?
Well, whatever they're selling inside.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, come on. What have we got to lose?
You gentlemen interested in matrimony?
Marriage?
That's what we're selling, boys.
To her?
Or anybody your heart desires. Just step inside, fill out the specification chart, pay your fee, and we deliver.
On the level?
On the level.
Well, what do you say, Tom?
It's worth a gamble. Right this way, gentlemen. Mr. Beagle will take care of you.
No sooner said than done, gentlemen. Step right this way and live.
At the end of the first day, we had deposits amounting to about $15,000. By the third day, we had to beat them off with clubs. Everybody had a dream girl, and we were guaranteeing delivery.
40,000, 50,000, 60,000 bucks. Oh, Mike, what do you say we skip out on the first space free?
What are you, nuts? There's another million coming here, and my name isn't Mike McDonald.
Oh, yeah, incidentally.
Yeah.
Have you figured out a way to deliver on this swindle?
Naturally.
You have?
Of course.
Oh.
We just go down to Earth and put up a different poster. Guaranteed husbands. Every one of them an Adonis.
What happens when they arrive? We get lynched?
Look, while these ladies are en route to Mars, you and me are en route to Earth. Get it?
Yeah.
I radio phoned a friend of mine down on Earth and had him place an ad in the New York papers the next day, complete with a picture of a handsome Martian uranium miner and a caption that read, "Husbands are waiting on Mars." When the next space liner rolled in, it brought the list of lady applicants from Earth, complete with photographs and background. Here's the first batch, Charlie. Let's look them over.
Yeah, right.
Let's see now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe the next one will be a little better.
How is it?
Let's see the next one.
Lola Carroll, age 29. 29? Whew, she's 40 if she's a day. Occupation, homebody. Background in education, blank. Oh, note from Mitchell. Says she did 4 years at a reformatory for shoplifting, and she's currently on parole.
Let's see this one. Wanda Baker, age 35, occupation gymnastic instructor, State College. Note says she was picked up for loitering and fined on 17 different occasions. Oh, brother.
These ain't exactly the creme de la creme, these ladies.
Oh, what'd you expect?
It ain't what I expect, Mike. It's what the boys in the mining camp expect. $100 fee plus $2,500 for transportation. That ain't hay.
Wait a minute. I got an idea.
I'm waiting.
First, we get rid of all these pictures, see? Then we print up a few thousand pictures of movie starlets, and we paste them on the applications. We make a few changes in the statistics, such as age and so on, and we're back in business.
You know, Mike, I used to think you were about as crooked as a one-armed bandit, but I don't think it anymore. I know it.
So we spent the next few nights pasting up pictures and changing age 38 to age 28 and so on. It was easy. Then we called in the applicants from the mining camp and gave each one the dope sheet on his prospective bride.
Hey, Bill. Hey, look at mine. Lola Carroll, age 29. Boy.
Mine's named Wanda Baker. She's 25. Well, you dig this picture? She's almost... What's wrong? Mine looks exactly like yours.
What? Let me see.
Take a look at those two pictures.
You're right.
Wait a minute. Hey, Mr. Mortensen.
Yes?
Take a look at this. Both alike.
Ah, most peculiar. Particularly peculiar since, well, mine looks like yours, too.
You put in for a wife?
Why not? Miranda Potts, age 25. A former lady wrestling coach. But the pictures puzzle me.
I think maybe these guys are trying to pull a fast one.
You may be right at that. Come, gentlemen, let's pay a visit to our benefactors, Mr. McDonald and Mr. Beagle.
At the precise moment that Henry Mortensen and his two aggressive companions decided to drop in on myself and Charlie Beagle, we were in the process of tying our money into small bundles and placing it in suitcases, which also contained our clothes and tickets for the next rocket to Earth. It was very embarrassing. Oh, yes, gentlemen?
We would like a word with you, Mr. McDonald.
Well, Mr. Beagle and I are a little busy.
I'm afraid it'll have to wait.
Oh, what seems to be the problem?
Just the three of us have the picture of the same girl clipped to our applications.
Really? Well, let's have a look.
Right here.
Well, what do you know? Charlie, take a look.
Huh?
You imbecile, you didn't check for duplicates. Well, now I think maybe I have an explanation, boys.
Go on.
None of you has been on Earth for some years now, is that right?
That's true.
Well, you know how styles take hold on Earth. One year every woman's curly and blonde. Next year it's straight and brunette. Well, the same thing has happened with cosmetics, makeup, and so on. Now, gentlemen, when I was on Earth last month, every woman in New York was trying to look like a certain movie actress. It got so men couldn't tell their own wives apart.
That isn't very convincing, Mr. McDonald.
Look, boys, obviously there was some mix-up at the Earth Agency. They got the wrong pictures pasted up or something, but I'm sure it'll all straighten itself out. Now, if you don't mind, Mr. Beagle and I have to finish packing.
We mind.
You do?
You do?
Uh-huh. Tom, you take that money in those suitcases and lock them up over the company office.
Now, boys, just a minute.
That's stealing, boys. It's considered dishonest.
We ain't stealing. We're just keeping the stuff in escrow, you might say.
Till when?
Till the rocket ships get here with the girls. If these dames are as gorgeous as you tell us they are, you'll get every penny of your dough.
Suppose they ain't quite gorgeous.
And you and your friend here are going to suddenly find yourselves unable to carry on as living humans. You fetch my meaning?
I fetch. Well, this caused a small dilemma in me and my partner, Beagle. The problem was easy to state. We had sold these guys on the idea that they were engaged to be wedded to an assortment of lovely, desirable, attractive young girls from Earth. The contingent from Earth, on the other hand, was made up mainly of frustrated, lonely women and a goodly portion of female criminal types. The problem was how to convince these boys that they were not getting cheated. That's enough, Charlie. Now, the problem is how to convince everybody that he ain't getting cheated, right?
Oh, you're a master of summing up a problem. Now how about solving it?
Just give me some time.
Look, the rocket fleet from Earth arrives here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. 20,000 very strong miners will be assembled at the rocket port waiting.
True.
So?
Pour me a little more of that muggle juice.
No.
Muggle juice. We could get them all drunk on muggle juice, mass hypnotize them. I'm dreaming.
So what do we do?
I could make a speech, appeal to their better selves, say these poor, unfortunate women need love and affection, something they've never had.
Uh-huh.
How about makeup? Maybe we could hire a cosmetic man to make them up to look like the pictures.
Sure.
Or we could say that it's all a big mistake. We got the wrong shipment.
Or we could kill ourselves.
No need for that, Charlie. That's going to be done for us.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
Well, it's been a short life and a merry one. Drink up, Charlie. For tomorrow we die. The next morning, the miners came in from all parts of the desert to assemble at the spaceport. It was quite a sight. They'd all shaved and spruced up for the occasion, and some of them looked downright handsome. And every one of them had a package wrapped with ribbon for his prospective bride.
Tom! Hey, Tom, over here!
Hi.
Some excitement, huh?
I'm sweating like a schoolboy on his first date.
Why, see, you got a present, too.
Yeah, they were selling some of that cologne water. Hanley's number 4.
Well, I got the same thing.
Boy, this whole planet is going to smell like Hanley's number 4.
Is my tie on straight? It's been 8 years since I tied a tie.
That's pretty good. Boy, everybody is nervous as a cat.
You know, I took a look at myself in the mirror this morning. It was quite an experience. I just stood there looking. And then I said to myself, Bill, you're a slob. You couldn't get a girl on Earth. And if you're lucky, maybe the one who's coming today won't go back on the first ship.
I was thinking the same thing. You suppose they'll be as glamorous as those two crooks told us?
You know what? I hope not. I just wouldn't feel right bringing a real cultured, glamorous creature to that tar paper shack over near mine number 6.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, there's Mortensen. Boy, he looks like he's going to the radiation chamber.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
Well, it shouldn't be long now.
We ought to sight the first ship any minute.
Fella down at number 3 mine was trying to get out of it. He was so sure his girl'd be disappointed.
Well, maybe they won't expect so much. Oh, here it comes! Here it comes!
Attention, all men waiting to receive wives. The Earth-Mars convoy, Operation Big Date, is approaching the landing area. Please stand behind the fire screen until the ships are all landed. And good luck.
During all this, Charlie Beagle and I were more or less under guard back at our office. I say more or less because there were 6 miners with loaded guns sitting practically on top of us. In the distance, we could hear the rockets come blasting in for a landing. And then everything got very quiet. And we knew the girls were coming off the ships.
What do you suppose is happening?
Well, it's pretty quiet, Charlie. I guess the girls are coming off.
Yeah, I don't hear no sounds of rejoicing.
Now, just take it easy.
You suppose they'll hang us or shoot us?
Now, relax.
Relax, he says, but... Oh, here comes a Jeep with Uncle Henry in it.
Is he alone?
Uh-huh.
Well, so long, Charlie.
Gentlemen?
Now, look, Mr. Mortensen, this can all be explained. There was an error and the wrong girls got shipped.
Don't try to explain it, McDonald.
But you can't just kill us without even a trial. I mean, it isn't just.
Who said anything about killing you? We're throwing a banquet tonight, and we want you and Mr. Beagle as guests of honor.
As what?
Guests of honor.
You mean the girls were okay?
Okay, they're lovely. The nicest thing about them, of course, is that they don't expect much. They seem to accept us with all our faults and all the shabbiness and ugliness of the life on Mars. There isn't a one of them who turned up her nose at the place. They seem thankful just to be here.
And the guys, they all feel okay about it?
Okay, they're like a bunch of kids. There isn't a one of them who wasn't scared breathless that he'd have some sophisticated glamour girl on his hands. No, sir. These are down-to-earth women who had it tough on Earth, and they figure to find some happiness here if it's humanly possible.
Yeah, but how did the boys like the way they shape up?
Charlie.
I mean, there might be some that seemed a little older than the applications. You know how clerical errors can be made.
Well, gentlemen, when you've been living on Mars for 15 years without having seen even a single Earth woman, you kind of lose the standards that Hollywood sets for us. As far as I and the other men are concerned, they're gorgeous.
Well, that's the story, which proves you can sell a guy a gold brick that's made out of lead, and sometimes you find out the poor sucker likes lead even better than gold. Charlie Beagle and myself made a small fortune on the deal, like I said before. I made a trip back to Mars last month just to satisfy my curiosity, and you know what? I never saw a happier bunch of people in all my life. Hey, by the way, Henry Mortensen and the lady wrestler are having a kid. They're going to call it Mike if it's a boy, and Michelle if it's a girl.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features The Ignoble Savages by Evelyn E. Smith, the story of the Snadra, which had but one choice in its fight to afford to live below ground, to pretend that theirs was an above-board society. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you The Girls from Earth, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Frank M. Robinson and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Mandel Kramer as Mike, Bob Hastings as Charlie, John Gibson as Henry, Jim Stevens as Tom, Dick Hamilton as Bill, and Phil Sterling as the waiter. This is Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
morning, weirdos. What's going on out there? Yeah. I'm just waking up, drinking some coffee, smoking some doobage, eating a cereal bar. Starcrawler! Big dog. You can see that tail over there wagging. 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 Pardon me while I nourish myself. Hey, OCD. So once again, I move my camera, and it's a little weird. Let me see if I can turn it a little to the side there. Gotta take that off first. Kill myself there. That's a little better. Yeah, we'll see how long that stays. How's that? Yeah, that's a little better. Everybody? Everybody like that? See if it moves. Are you moving? I had to wedge it. Oh, I had to wedge it. Let's get a little bit of wedge going on. There. That's better. That's better. I mean, you gotta be able to see my microphone, yeah? This is my microphone. No, really. I'm a vegetable. This is my garden. I can get rid of this now. I don't need that. I know what I'm saying. So, I see on Facebook some people give me a like on my link, but they don't follow the link and come here and hang out. Come here and hang out. There's plenty of room. I don't know what the problem is. There's plenty of room. Plenty of room there for people to show up and just kind of hang out in the lobby here. I got room here. I got another chair. I got some seating available over there. Hang out. Righteous. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And there we are. So, yeah. I did Minecrafting last night. It was okay. It was okay. For a first show. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to worry about. A lot of things to do. I'm only going to be playing once a week. Only when it's live. Only for a couple of hours. First of all, I don't want to get Minecraft burnout. And I don't want to be playing, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's time to go on the air, and I'm bored. I don't want to do this anymore. So, I kind of wait and give myself a plan of attack for each episode. This last episode, we kind of did a little bit of a tour, taking the rail, riding the rail, running around. And then we took a run north so that I could continue working on the road going north, which is exactly what I did eventually. And then about the 2-hour mark, I cut the feed. Mainly because 2 hours is enough. 5 to 7. That's plenty of time. I think it was 5 to 7. I think it was only a 2-hour episode last night. Or somewhere thereabouts. Thereabouts. Uh-huh. Yeah, 2 hours. It was a 2-hour show. Looks like my nighttime nonsense and nostalgia with Video Time Machine has gotten some views. Not many, but a few. I did the, I put together a video and uploaded it for the Video Time Machine, and one of my videos on it got hit. Oh man, it got hit. It's a bummer too, because it's the one that made me cry. Bummer. So I'm just gonna have to yank it. And then there was another one. I had put in a newsreel, and just a tiny portion of the newsreel got hit. Some Kennedy documentary about the Camelot and that crap. Sucks. So now I gotta come up with one more element, and I'm just gonna freeze out the stuff in the newsreel that doesn't work. I'm just gonna I'll probably chop it so that it's separate, mute it, and then flicker the video so that it's not the video or the sound, right? I think that's the best way to do it. I mean, I could just flicker the video and hope the sound works. And I might do that. What are you going to do, right? Bong Hits, that's what. What the hell with the Bong Hits? I'm just going straight for the bat box. So I'm off till Friday night for the evenings. I eventually have to put together a show for Friday. So we'll see. I'm not seeing the email that I want here. That's okay. It's only been a few days. I expected it to be a week. Uh-huh. So, yeah. There we go. Looking good. It's looking good, babies. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, hi there. How are you? Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. It's Totally Television Tuesday on this September the 10th. We all know what tomorrow is. Old Time Radio Wednesday. That's what it is. And that's all you got to worry about. That's all, the only thing you got to concern yourself with is that it's Old Time Radio Wednesday on the 11th. All right? Of September. Right? Nobody ever comes by and hangs out. Oh my gosh. I totally get it. I totally get, you know, this, I'm a weird guy. I'm a weird guy. Not everybody's cup of java. No, sorry. Baba Rooney. Baba Rooney. Yorp. Yorp. There we go. There. Hi, Big Face. What are you up to, Big Face? I know, I got the sniffles. I don't know why. I know why. 'Cause I'm old, and I did a lot of cocaine in the 80s. Right. Yeah, right. Well, come on, stop on by. Hi. I'm just hanging out. Just screwing around. Gonna put some more stuff up on my little billboard here. Let's see. Let's put this guy here. There we go. There we go. A little Frankenflirter there. How's that look? Oh, that looks good. A little Frankenfurter. Yeah. Totally. No, I don't want to go there. Don't. Ah, jeez. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do that. There we go. Alright, I'm warming up my coffee.
Yeah, what's this? Get the hell out of there.
So many screens. So many screens. That's me, right here.
I'm right here. This guy.
Yeah. A bit of different angle on things. How's that? How's that? Just a chilling out. Just a chilling out. It's the co-pilot chair over here. This is my arena. This camera is a little askew as well because I battened it down a little bit. Let me change it a little too. I don't know. I don't know if I like it. Help me out. What do you think? I guess that's an okay angle. Everything's kind of straight, right? It doesn't look too bad. I got to put something on the back side of my console here, right? Probably some more billboard stuff. That'd work. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Pushing buttons. So right now, I've got 4 screens in front of me. One screen here going live, one screen over here bringing graphics in, my little telephone screen here doing my monitor, and then I've got my television screen here is broken up into 10 little screens. 2 big ones, 4 medium-sized ones, and then 4 little screens with details. Sound, recording, that kind of stuff. And then if you count the little tiny screens on the cameras, right, that's 7 screens on right now in here. On occasion, I will have an 8th screen on with some kind of video playing during my boredom, right? But, yeah. At any given time in here, I've got about 4 screens on. None of them are devoted to being on social media. No. The monitor, of course, is picking up YouTube and bringing me what's happening on YouTube Live. I will go to Facebook and share the link to whatever I'm doing live, but that's about as much as I do on Facebook. Maybe comment, have a little back and forth with someone, talk about the reunion on the reunion group, but other than that, I really don't get on Facebook much. I'm going to say less than 30 or 40 minutes a day for my own personal use. This thing's on here for 3 hours in the morning, being my monitor. That's it. It's on in the evening when I do an evening show. It's my monitor. During the day, it sits here plugged in, and on occasion, I will scroll down a little bit, and or usually I'll just go to what's new, my alerts, my alarm, and I'll go there and see who's said anything, who's left any comments, and then I'll pretty much just interact there. And then I usually don't scroll, I don't swipe, I just kind of go check my updates, see what's happened recently on Facebook, acknowledge those comments and people, and then move on and put that down and pick up the computer, you know. Yes, sirree, Baba Rooney. Baba Rooney, Baba Rooney. Oh yeah, looks much better. I dusted and watered my plant, and it is looking bitchin'. Yeah, it's got kind of a green spring in its step, and I'm liking it. Let's see, I need to make up a batch of fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and fertilize all the plants. I like to do it a couple of times a year, give them some food. You know. Totally. You know, maybe I will set up a little action here and do some, well, I could play some solitaire. I could play it on the computer, or I could play it in real life. Right? Let's take a look here on the computer and see what we got here for solitaire. Solitaire. Simple solitaire. Simple as solitaire. It appears as though yeah, let me go ahead and turn off the sound so you don't have to hear that. Unless, of course, you want to see me play, what you call it? What do you call it? Solitaire. I don't want commercials during my solitaire. Oh, I don't have any choice now. That's right, it's the New World Order. You get force-fed crap even if you don't want it. That's the way it is, baby. Oh, look, a king. I need a king. Oh, look, another king. I need a king. I need a Bryant. I need a Baker. Yeah, baby. Abso-friggin-lutely. Well, let me know if you're bored yet. Because I could totally do something else. I just figured I'd do a round of this really quick, because, you know, what the hell, nobody else is here. Oh yeah, look at all those aces. The aces. It's the ace of spades. Let me at him. Why, I oughta. Dope. Bobemi. Alright, look at that. Check that shit out. Lemmy, Bobemi, banana, fana, fofemi, me, my, mo, meme. Huh. Lemmy. Huh. Oh yeah, this is just, well, it's gonna stall. It always stalls. You hit a point where it just won't go anywhere. It just won't go anywhere. Oh yeah. Well, let's see. Round 2 is going nowhere. That's what always happens, right? Alright, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And let me add them. Now I can go here. This can go there. Ooh, this can go here. Foul differum saginum fugituginum wildum. Ignum brigatagus dumpa perker circular orgadegin magan. Ugid. Really? I heard it from the source. Ain't no lies there. Alright, we are going nowhere fast. And Flamdiger frazzle. Frastnictum fursictus of usum obragus. That's not working too good now. Alright, so if we get rid of this one, and we put this one here, and we get rid of this one, and we put this one there, now what? Frazzle. I got a frazzle in my frazzle frizzle. A frizzle frazzle. And that's it. Looks like we have stalled out. Looks like we done stalled out, boys. That's it. I'm at the house. Well, that was boring. That was boring, but it was a lot quicker than trying to do it physically, right? Playing the shuffling and the dealing. I'd have still been playing that same stupid hand and gotten nowhere. Yeah. And that's it. That's all the heck there is to it. Prove it. Going in. I did brush my hair this morning. Alright. I just got bedhead. Right. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's Tuesday, the 10th of September. Tomorrow is the 11th of September. You know what day that is? You know what that means? That means that the following day is the 12th of September. Tomorrow is Old Time Radio Wednesday. That's all you gotta concern yourself with. Listening to them old-timey radio shows. And if you don't get enough with the 4 shows on Wednesday, dig into the playlist and watch the, 100 shows that I got there, over 100 shows. I know, because we've got like 80 X-1s, okay? So that means that plus the other ones, there's way over 100. Halloween. That's what's happening, baby. Halloween. And there it is, Halloween. Edit and re-upload. Okay, so what I think I'll do is I'll just take out the Richard Simmons video. Oh, it bums me out, man. It was such a good video. minus It's My Party. Minus Camelot. And then re-upload it and see what I get. Because hopefully it'll work. I don't want to take out any more, and I don't want to have to replace anything else. It's a bummer to lose that Richard Simmons video. It really is. It was so good. It was pretty basic and nothing fancy, but it was really, really good. Yeah. I don't know exactly how to keep the video. I guess I could find a version of It's My Party that I could use, because that's the name of the song that's in the video. And then edit in a bunch of Richard Simmons video and photos and break up the Sweat into the Oldies video so that it's not so readily apparent to the algorithm that it's the whole video. I don't know. I'd hate to go through all of that work and then have it still be, dismissed. But I mean, that's pretty much the deal. You're borrowing content. You gotta go with the checks, or the polls. No, you gotta, that's it. You just gotta be ready to re-edit. And I do have other elements if I so desire. I'd like to keep the episode about 30 minutes, and Richard Simmons' video put us over 30 minutes. So if I were to kick it back a little bit and then drop something else in that spot that doesn't have to be as big time-wise. Man, what a bummer. What a total bummer, man. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, Oh, so yesterday I brought in my little DVD, CD-ROM burner player recorder thing, right? And then I dug up my stack of DVD burnable discs, which hold about 4.3 gigabytes, right? Which is one little fancy video or a bunch of audio that I haven't edited, or a bunch of raw video that I haven't edited. I could take a bunch of raw video and throw it onto the disc, and you could pop it into your DVD player and just play movie after movie after movie. Whereas if I were to take that and run it through my program and turn it into an actual video formatted movie thing, then it would chew up a whole lot of data. Speaking of data, I'm running out of space on my computers. This one's in the red now. This one's been bouncing between 10 and 30 gigabytes of free memory over here, and this one's down to about 80-something free gigabytes. So I'm looking at possibly getting a terabyte or a half a terabyte thumb drive or something in the interim until I can afford to pick up a really nice extra heavy duty large external hard drive. Because if I can do that, then I can free up so much space off my computers, right? So that's important. Importante.
Yeah, babies.
Yeah, babies. What I need is like I need like two. I need like two heavy-duty external hard drives, one plugged up to each laptop, all right, along with one of them having the other external hard drive plugged up to it. So I've got two externals on one, right? Because I like to pull from different hard drives to do different stuff. I mean, I'll be working on a video and I'll pull from two hard drives over here and then have to cloud something off of this hard drive just to do a video, or vice versa. Yeah, it's fun stuff, baby. I'm gonna heat it up. Oh yeah. For sure. Eeyore. There's my Eeyore face. Always an Eeyore. Never a Tigger. Oh, speaking of Eeyore and Tigger, I saw a great post from an old friend on Facebook because of a notification. So I checked it out, and so I left a comment that I need to get one of his shirts, because I'm a shirt guy. And he's like, oh, well, cool, here's where we get the shirts, and this is the guy that does the shirts, and yada yada yada. Let me check my back stock and see if I got any extras. So that's cool. So I'm going to send him a message later and graciously thank him for his offer of shirts and give him my size and address. And that'd be neat. I like to get shirts, you know, whether I got to buy them or borrow them or have somebody give them to me. I love shirts, right? I just love to go through my drawers of shirts and pick out something for the day. Pink. I really like the Starcrawler shirt. I dig that fucking car. That car reminds me of Hot Wheels, right? It reminds me of Hot Wheels. I don't know why. I just... Hot Wheels, man. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels. I've been itching to play the guitar lately, and I'm just afraid that as soon as I pick it up and start playing and get into something, that'll be... I'll get canceled. I'll have to go deal with something that will keep me from the guitar for longer than I want. I've been avoiding it because of depression, you know. And as like my band, I've been avoiding that too. I gotta go out there and deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Ain't that funny? Funny, funny, funny. Yeah. Let's see. So I need to make a better camera tripod attachment for this camera here. This camera here, this one feels pretty good. It's pretty much in line with the room. I get pretty much the whole room. I guess I could swing it back the other way a little bit. But it pretty much gets the whole room. That's cool. And then this camera I like because I can use it there, or I can point it down to the center of the living room here. Or I can point it down at a table next to me. I can point it over my shoulder and you can see what I'm doing here. So it's kind of my most versatile camera is up over my shoulder here. The one that gets moved around the most, and it can actually get moved around. So what I'm going to do, I believe, is put it on a hanger, so it'll be like this. In fact, it should look like that, right? It should look like that. It should hang over the top of my cabinet, and then this should keep it level so that it's not doing this, right? And then this arm here, I'll have a camera tripod mounted on it so that it'll be pointed out and I can aim my camera. Kind of weird. I gotta go let a dog out. Damn dog. Oh yeah. Straighten it up, straighten it up. Well, look at the hunch in my back. Don't straighten up. You might hurt yourself. Okay, Peoples. Yep. Let's see, I did some show descriptions. I did those. So basically I need to re-upload Friday, re-edit and re-upload Friday's video time machine. I need to start gathering elements for Halloween October, right? A scary Oktoberfest movie would be great, right? Let's see, Q&A for the Elsinore Brothers and Sisters Live. I need to do that open and close. And I need to put together a precursor preliminary commercial type stuff, because I should be hearing from the t-shirt people anytime to find out that it's probably way more expensive than I had imagined, right? At least the getting started part. I'm hoping that, well, I'm just hoping, because it's too rough for me to do this on my own, even to just get started with the t-shirt thing on my own. So what I need to do is probably come up with, basically I need to come up with 2 samples, a bunch of mock-ups, create a commercial, and sell a bunch of shirts. Excuse me, get a bunch of shirts out there for donation. Most places you can go and get a vintage retro looking style t-shirt for 20, 25 bucks, right? These shirts are going to be twice that for the donation. Basically because I need to take half of the money and funnel it back into shirt production, right? At first all of the money gets funneled into shirt production. And then at some point half of the money gets funneled back into shirts until the shirts are all paid for. And then we start reaping the rewards of all of the donation that comes in. And then hopefully it'll be easier to get shirts produced later. Having a good track record, hopefully we can build up a good track record with the shirt people. Them knowing that if I'm going to order 100 shirts and get the order fulfilled over time, that I will get the order fulfilled over time and order more, right? There are these, excuse the term, douchebags who troll around Facebook and put ads places, join groups just so they can place ads for their autistic child who designs t-shirts. Total fucking load of bullshit, right? Because there's like 1,000 people out there with the same autistic child who designs t-shirts, and they're always the same fucking t-shirts. You know, it's some random fucking, you know, like Lake Elsinore. It's always the same anchor and the lifesaver and the same font. You can join every other fucking group. Join Lake Tahoe group, and you'll see them selling the same T-shirts, only labeled Lake Tahoe. That's it, because it's not a T-shirt. It's a graphic, right? That's it. It's just a graphic put onto a shirt. Whether you get the shirt or not remains to be seen, because they're not actually shirts. So, no, if there's going to be shirts sold or given for donation on the Elsinore Brothers and Sisters group or my page, or especially I grew up in Lake Elsinore, I'm going to be the one selling those shirts, or somebody who actually, you know, comes from Elsinore and isn't full of shit and doesn't have that imaginary autistic child. Have an autistic child, that's not a big deal. But when you lie about it just to sell fucking T-shirts, that's a big deal, and that's where you get kicked out of the fucking group. And I reported the person who did it, and of course here comes the creator of the group, who said, that Mo Nuck is gone. That Botard is out of here. Ain't gonna happen no more. You know, and that's it. You know, and I will get backed up, because it won't be bullshit. It won't be some bullshit fucking one photograph of a T-shirt that my autistic child made. No, it'll be a bunch of shirts. It'll be the whole line of shirts at some point. And it will be in a commercial. And you'll have to contact me directly. It's no bullshit, you know. It's like, no, you could punch in all this information and hope that somebody's not stealing your card information, right? And hope that you at some point actually really do get a T-shirt, right? But nope. This is the real deal. And I think by doing it in a commercial form, where I'm actually there and the shirts are actually here, look, here's a real shirt, right? And then I've got somebody in the video, a different person in each video, saying, yeah, I got my shirt. It's a really cool shirt. Shirt. Right? That's what I'm saying. A real shirt. Not bullshit. A real actual shirt. Yeah, like it's almost 6. It's been almost an hour. Let's see. I gotta get my act together. This is fun and all, but I spend way too much time sitting in front of all these screens. I do. Way too much time. Of course, I get a lot done. I get a whole lot done. But I'm pretty much anchored to this thing. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I used to get so much enjoyment out of Minecrafting because of the constructing and the building and the creating, right? The same thing with The Sims and SimCity. Command and Conquer, Dune, all of those games where you build, create, build, create. You know, of course, some of those games are build, destroy. But I think that the video editing, creating that stuff, is kind of, to me, the same game. right? Just taking a bunch of stuff, cobbling a bunch of things together and creating something, you know, like building an actual house. Well, I'm just looking at the numbers on my live stream here, and everything looks pretty good. It's a looking a good. It's a looking a good. Everything. This is fun, you know. I think I do this more so because it's fun than anything else, you know. And secondly, because it's good therapy, you know. It's just really good therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get some more of those old-timey little gadgets, you know, slide whistles, harmonicas, mouth harp, what do you call them? Mouth banjo or whatever the fuck they're called. Little gliders, little balsa wood planes and gliders and that kind of stuff. Mainly because they're like little time travel elements, right? Pieces of the time machine. So in fact, I think I'm going to put together my little balsa wood plane. Yeah. What was it? Arts and Crafts Thursday. We could do it on Thursday. Arts and Crafts Day. I've got extras if anybody wants to play. Yeah, babies. Oh, baby. No, really, it's hard to time travel when I leave this room, right? And when I come back to this room, it's hard to get back into the feel of things. I really have to immerse myself in stuff here. Yesterday I watched, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember. So the other day I watched the episode 2 of the first season of Saturday Night Live. I watched the first episode a while back, and then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna throw on another episode because I got nothing going on. I'm just working on one computer over here, so I thought, all right, I'm gonna throw it on this computer, pipe the audio through the stereo. And it was a good thing I piped the audio through the stereo, because during the second episode of Saturday Night Live, it was mainly the Paul Simon Show. Basically, it was the Paul Simon Show. They did a couple of little tiny skit type things. Albert Brooks did a movie, and there were like minimal little not ready for primetime player skits. The Bees came out and they said, now you're canceled. That was like the funniest thing to happen with the players, right? So it started off with a Paul Simon song, and then more Paul Simon music. Randy Newman, Phoebe Snow, Paul Simon. Paul Simon brought out Art Garfunkel, and they did a couple of songs, and then Art did a song, and then Paul Simon did more music, and it was just all music. And it was like the Paul Simon Show. I think what happened was the first show happened, and the critics and Nielsen, everybody just said, poo-poo, this is a stupid show, get this out of here. So Lorne Michaels, I believe, called upon Paul Simon to come on the show and to save it. Right? Okay, we need to compete with shows like the Midnight Special. Right? Don Kirshner's rock concert. These are the shows that were up and coming back then. I think 1976 was the first Saturday Night Live, and by then they had already started pumping out seasons of Midnight Special and a bunch of other late night concert shows. So you had to deal with competing with those shows on Saturday night. And a bunch of nobodies out there goofing on stupid shit wasn't really enough to pull people away from music and watching, Steve Miller and Kiss and all these other people that kept popping up on the midnight special, right? And I think it was a deal with Lorne Michaels, and he just said, look, you come on the show, do whatever you want. Can you get Art on the show? I mean, it was like, can we do a reunion? Because that's basically what it was. It was an Art Garfunkel, Paul Simon reunion for two songs. And the jabs from Paul Simon to Art Garfunkel, and he took them like a pro. Like he's totally used to Paul Simon giving him shit, about his career choices. Hilarious and kind of mean. But there was nothing funny about the show. It wasn't a traditional, as we know it now, Saturday Night Live. It was all music. Yeah, there were just a couple little skits. There was the news and Albert Brooks and a couple little things, and that was it. And I was kind of pleased because I was up working, doing stuff around the house here. So I just had it cranked up, and because it was mostly music, I didn't have to run in here and go, what's going on? Right? Like, oh my God, anyway. Oh my God. Oh my God, no way. Oh, I didn't want to do that. 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 You made me love you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. Gimme, 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 gimme. What I cry for. You know I got the kind of kisses that I die for. You know you made me love you. Shut up. Boop boopy doop. Yeah. So, daughter came home last night tired. She, changed, played with the dogs, flopped into bed, floundered for a little while, and then Mom made dinner. She's like, she made this giant burrito for my daughter, and my daughter's like, oh, that's just too big, I'm never going to finish it. And then she came back in later and said, Mom, it was too big. Oh, did you finish it? Yeah, I ate the whole thing. Oh. And of course, within an hour, she was in bed and passed out with a dog under her arms. And I was like, oh, I hope she sleeps through the whole frickin' night. Because she needs it. She didn't get much sleep Sunday night because of schoolwork. And then she was up early and out all day on Monday. So last night when she got home, you could see it in her face. She was whooped, She rocks, It's hard, it's boring, it's hot, it's tedious, it's a lot of reading, it's just a bunch of crap that she don't want to do. But she does it, and she's doing it, and she's good at it, And I keep telling her, honey, you're young. It's hard, but enjoy it while you can. Find stuff in it that you like. Don't just say, oh, it sucks. Because then it just completely sucks. But if you can enjoy going to the campus and finding things about the campus and finding that little place on campus that's yours, and finding your little ins and outs and how to do things and where to do things and your friends and relations and all this, and it just, yeah, I think that at some point she's gonna, when she has to leave this and be done with school, she's gonna cry because it's a huge part of her life. All right, well, no wedgie, no wedgie, no wedgie. You want to come up here, Bessie? Uh-huh. Here. Come on. Come on, Bessie. Come on. Come on, Bessie. There you go. Big face. There you up. So, dude, look at them big bones in that little chair. There you go. That's my girl. That's my slobber puss. Hi, baby. Ow. Ow. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. She's a funny dog. Funny, funny dog. Yes. She's a funny dog. She sleeps in the same spot every night at the foot of the bed on Mom's side. Mom's shorter, so it works. Always right there. Of course, if it's during the day and I'm napping, she'll come over and get on Mom's pillow and lay there and look at me. Weird dog. If I get up and leave the room, she's right behind me, constantly, follows me everywhere. I know, huh? And when I'm gone, she just sits somewhere and waits. So you know she's a guy's dog because she doesn't do any of that with either of the girls. She's just me. Just me. If I'm gone, she worries. If anybody else is gone, she don't care. You know, if I'm gone, she doesn't go sit with somebody else. She just sits by herself. That's weird. Or Sam will sit with Mom when I'm gone. Or at least be in the same room. He might sit by himself in the corner of the bed or in a chair by himself. But he's there. And he won't eat. Most of them won't eat while one of us is gone. If two of us are gone and one of us comes back, they'll eat a little bit. But they'll wait until all of us are in the house before they'll all sit down at the bowl and feed each other. Right? Tootsie, the Chewini. She'll go and get a mouthful of food, scoop it up in her little mouth, bring it in here, dump it on the carpet, and the three little dogs will sit around and eat together off that little pile of food. And then Sam does the same thing. He runs in there, he'll grab a scoop of food, he'll come in, drop some on the floor and chew it, and then Oliver and Tootsie will run up and eat. Oliver, he don't do that. He eats when they bring food to him, or when there's nobody else around, and then he'll go in there and he'll sit by himself and eat out of the food bowl. He's a weird dude. He's a loner. He's a stoner loner. Totally. So, on my hat from Minecrafting last night. Galaxian, the video game. My trucker's cap. So let's see. Guest Q&A. Yeah. God, the sniffles. It's all the weed I'm smoking. That's what it is. You know, smoke is bad. So putting it in your body is like worse than bad. So obviously my nose is reacting to smoke. What happens when you walk into a burning building or a campfire? Your nose runs, your eyes water. My body is just reacting to smoke. That's it. Okay. EBS Live Q&A. Okay. So we're just going to make a quick list of questions that we want to put into the list of questions, and then of course this list will probably become bigger or smaller we want about 20 questions. We want to do we're going to call it 20 questions. Right? And so I'll make up about 25, 30 questions, and then send that list of questions and have them send me back the numbers they don't want asked. What do you not want me to ask you? And then, what do you definitely want me to ask you? Send me those numbers of questions. And then so I can take the 30 questions, knock out a couple, knock out a few more, so I'm down to 20 questions, but I don't knock out the ones I wanted you to ask me that, man. I had a great story. So it's going to be best that I set up the Q&A, and I can write this out on the computer, copy and paste it into messages, send it to them, and then they can take it and go, okay, number 1, yes, number 2, oh, number 3, don't ask me that. Right? So we'll start with favorites. That's an easy way to start. We'll just do favorite band, right? Favorite singer. We'll just say band, group, singer, etc. Right? Favorite TV show. And TV personality. Right? Because a lot of kids had, Tiger Beat and whatever, and the posters on the walls. I was going to say Telly Savalas, yeah, who loves you, baby? Eric Estrada and whatnot. So, let's see, favorite movie. Movie star. Right? Best friend. I always get those letters backwards. The I and the E and the E and the I. Never fails. Hi. Hi, how's it going? You big face, you need a big face. Best friend, that's going to be one that people are going to be like, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, there we go. Favorite teacher or class in high school. In high school and junior high. Favorite school staff member. Right. What did you drive? You drive. First car. And then you get the opportunity to dig up a photo, of course. You can take photos of stuff and send it to me ahead of time, and then I can bring it up. What did you drive? Where did you live? Favorite hangout? Best school ditch day? Best 80s concert. Best party. 80s party. And did you attend MTV party? Huh? Anybody? Maybe? Ah. Where did you work in the 80s? Work. First job. Where did you shop? Huh? You shop. Favorite store. Oh yeah. So that's a pretty good start there. 14. That's pretty good so far. All right. 27. So we come up with 27, a full page of questions. Or at least pretty close. By the time we get into the computer, we can fatten it up pretty good. Let's see, let me put my arts and crafts and stuff away here. In my little drawer. Yeah, babies, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I gotta come up with an opening. I think I'm gonna take a book from my experiences creating the video time machine, and I think I'm gonna use some of that kind of thinking to make the Elsinore Brothers and Sisters live opening and closing. I'm going to use that banjo music that I used for the last EBS trailer. And I'll take a whole bunch of elements from the 80s and mix them together with Lake Elsinore elements. Some shots of yearbook stuff, right? Throw a couple of yearbook photos in there. I don't know that I want to do close-ups of individuals. I think I'll do those group pages where they got a bunch of different, like a photo collage page. I think I'll take those, copy some of those off, and do that. If I just do single pages, I can scan them and get a good copy. Yeah, so we need to come up with I've got a whole file of old Elsinore stuff. So we got the banjo music. LE photos. Let's try to gather up some group photos, some school photos. stuff. Nostalgic 80s and 70s. Vintage stuff. So that's pretty basic. Okay. That's pretty basic, yeah. Back to 20 questions. Let's see. Gonna heat that up. Faux show. Some more questions. Okay. Who do you want to see at reunion? Your best or favorite Peddler's Village purchase. I still remember going with Andy's mom to the Peddler's Village to see the gun guy to pick up his AK-47 that he had bought, or that she had bought for him. And it was all wood, still wrapped him in that paper with the gummy stuff all over it. And she brought me along because I knew as much about weapons at that time than he did, because he was just kind of learning, and we kind of learned together. And then of course he started to know more than me. So I literally just opened it up and looked at it and picked it up and checked it out and went, yeah, it's looks like brand new. It's a working weapon, you know. That's what it is. It's an AK-47. And then she, you know, and then we paid for it and packed it up and took it home, and he was like blown away. And he had to literally take it apart and pull everything apart, and pull the stock apart, and I think steel wool the wood, all of the wood, and then oil all the wood, and then oil the whole gun, clean everything, and he had to like go through this whole big deal before he could even put any ammunition in it. But it was pretty cool. It came from Russia, I believe, and back then it was just so easy to get to get that kind of stuff, you know. And he had that gun for a few years. I just about ripped my finger off shooting that gun. Yeah, my pinky finger here. Just about lost my pinky finger when the hammer came back. I had been shooting this way, and I did this, and it shot, and the hammer came back and tacked my pinky here. Just ripped it open, ripped it to shreds. I didn't shoot any more that day. Yeah. For a bunch of crazy kids, we were pretty careful. We could have gotten into a whole lot of trouble because we were still kids. But we were pretty careful. At least I remember being the voice of reason a lot of times, but we were all pretty careful. Yep. Because as a little kid, I had already seen way too much reality. So by the time I was a teenager and all of my friends had kind of gotten old enough to get into the kind of trouble that I had already seen early, I didn't want any part of it. I was like, nah, I've seen enough trouble. Geez, you know, I'm only, 15, 16 years old, but I've seen enough. And I've seen enough to know that I don't want to see any more, So when these guys would start, looking to get into some trouble, sometimes I'd go along, but quite often I would just be the voice of reason or just bow out. Nah, it's not for me. And quite often that would kind of get everyone else to see reality. I've been spending a lot of my days here alone. But then again, I'm here for me, so and I can do this I can talk to this thing all day long. It's just what I do. Even if it wasn't on, I'd be in here talking to myself. The dog would be looking up at me going, "Are you talking to me?" "Yeah, I'm talking to you." All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I didn't want you to see that. When you can get a hold of it, you take it when you can get it, man. Sometimes those nose hairs, man, they grow overnight. You wake up one morning and it's like, whoop. And you gotta, like, grab it, put your arm around it, pull it, yank that fucker out. Then it makes your eyes water. And then you got one eye goes all twitchy and dead on you. Because it, like, you yank out a nose hair and it, like, hits a nerve in your eyeball, right? And then you're like, "Darr." Oh, no more. No more. And then what, the mustache hair turns up now. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Jeez Louise. Don't ask me why, I'm just a hairy guy. I'm hairy high and low. Something, something. No, it was me again. It was my stupid mustache and nose hairs duking it out, right? That's what happens when you're a hairy guy. Hey, hairface. Yep. Don't get me started already. Good morning. How are you? Hi, how are you? How's it going? Just sitting here contemplating the day, making up a list of 20 questions for the Wednesday live show starting next week. So I've got to come up with questions for the guest. I've got to come up with a commercial for the t-shirts. I've got to come up with an opening and closing, and then I've got to come up with the meat and potatoes of the show. Now all these questions are going to be based in the 80s. So I've got 17 questions so far. I'm going to come up with about 25 to 30 questions. Have the questions in a list, numbered 1 through whatever. I'll send that list to whoever agrees to be on the show via video messenger. And then they'll send me back the list with, or rather, a list of numbers to the questions they don't want to be asked. Okay, what do you not want to be asked? All right, what do you do want to be asked? Definitely ask you this and this, right? So I'm going to come up with these questions, put them into a nice format, something that's easily copy and pasted into Messenger so I can send it to people. I'll send it a day or two ahead of time. They can review the list, jot down any numbers, get back to me. I'll send them photos or screen grabs of what I'm going to share on the show. Here's the commercial, view it. Here's the photos I'm going to show, view them. Do you have any photos you want me to show? Send them to me. The guest will not be able to see what's going on during the live video unless they have it on their home on TV in front of them while they're live on their camera with me, right? They can't have their volume up on the TV. So it'll be kind of like old school live TV, you know. You'll be sitting in your place doing the live via satellite thing, and I'll have the show going on here, and you'll just be kind of sitting there waiting for me to ask you questions, answering the questions, not really seeing what's going on until half a minute later on your TV. Same thing here on my monitor. So there is that. So the show is pretty basic. Basically, I want to share the shirt information, talk about the reunion, and get guests on there who will reinforce the fact that this is indeed happening. I need to get the administrators for the I Grew Up in Elsinore. I need to get a couple of key people from our hometown on the show. And they just have to be on for 5 to 7 minutes, really, maybe 10 minutes max. That's it. We'll work it out ahead of time through a quick phone call. I think it'll work out just peachy. I've done a lot of this live stuff, and it's super easy, and it's real easy when you've got somebody on, right? You just take charge, deal with it, and just kind of angle them in the direction you want them to go. Ask the questions, move on. So once I get these questions done, and I get the opening and the closing done, and I get the commercial done, I'll be left with about 15 minutes of time that I've got to fill. Right, about 10 minutes here, and then I get the guest on for 10 minutes, and then I've got about 5 minutes here, and then in between is going to be the opening, the closing, and the commercial, and that's going to take up about 30 minutes. Pretty basic. So I need to come up with a standard monologue, okay, about the reunion. So let's do that next. Reunion monologue. To open the close. Weekly monologue. Guest. Some kind of closing monologue. And that's it. And that's it. Once I get the first show done and in the can and it's finished and I've had my guest, the second show is going to be about a tenth of the difficulty that it is to create the first one. The first one's going to be like, I got to get all of this shit together. By the second one, I won't have to create an opening. I won't have to create a closing. I'll have a standard commercial that I can alter depending on how many new shirts I've got for that week. I don't have to alter anything with the questions. I just have to print out the list sans the ones that people don't want asked. Right? That's it. And then write up a new few paragraphs for each week. And they don't even have to be paragraphs. They just have to be, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this. And then I just ramble, you know, or get a good idea of what I want to say and how quick I want to say it. Basically, I just need to get more people to understand what this is all about. It ain't about me. It ain't about my channel. It ain't about selling t-shirts. It ain't about all these things that people might think it is. They need to understand exactly what it is. It's a reunion. It's a reunion set up for people who are near and far. Yeah. Because I hope to see a few people there, but I'm hoping that other people will set it up so that they can see people they want to see, right? I get the scraps, right? It's like, ooh, they're coming because they want to be with those people. That's great, you know. Hi, you know. I get to see people. I get to interact with a few people. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
wedgie, no wedgie, no wedgie.
Okay, I'm back, babies. So hi, how are you? How you doing? How's it going? Yeah, one thing I noticed is that there's about like 60 people who asked to join the I Grew Up in Elsinore group. It's a private group, and you have to answer questions. I don't remember what the questions are. I'll have to look to see at some point, because I've been made co-administrator of this group. And I graciously accepted, because nobody's ever asked me to be involved in anything like this before. So, and I think because of the reunion and the YouTube crap and the stupid videos and stuff that I make, I've kind of earned a little bit of that cred, right? Cred. But there's like 60 people who just haven't answered the questions, so they haven't been admitted into the group, right? And I'm like, oh, what do I do? And I can't post in the group, be sure to answer the questions so that you can get in the group, because nobody's going to see that, right? And I'm not going to send everybody individual messages. So I guess you just kind of leave it there. If you see somebody that you want in the group, say, hey, answer the question so we can let you in the group. You know, or just admit them anyway, right? And it's hard because you don't want to bring those people into the group who are just spammers, who are just trying to sell something, who just want to promote their business because it's near Elsinore, you know, or they just want to cash in on, you know, having been in Elsinore, and their kid's autistic and they create t-shirts. I mean, it's just, so we're trying to avoid that kind of crap. Nothing against people selling t-shirts or people who have autistic children, but come on, don't use us. We're smarter than that. We see the same fucking post all the time by different people. So, you know, what makes you think that we want that shit? We don't. We don't want your stupid anchor t-shirts that say Lake Elsinore, your, you know, factory-made shit with the same logo, and it's just a different town, you know, and everybody, oh look, I got one too. Give me a break. Give me a break. Hot. Sweet and hot. It's got to be sweet, and it's got to be hot. All right, so let's work on more 20 questions, I reckon, and try to get that somewhat together so I can put them on the computer and have a printable list so I can copy and paste it onto Messenger and send it to people. Here are the questions. And then once I get the questions back from them and understand which questions to ask and which questions not to ask, then I can print out a list and then have those 20 questions for the guest, right? And then by them having the list ahead of time, they can formulate some kind of response so that we don't waste time during the live show with them going, let me get back to you on that. I'll have to think about that. You get a day or two to think about it ahead of time, you know, and then, you know, make yourself a little note on what you want to say for what questions. Those questions are easy. I got the answers right here. That question, I want to remember to say this, right? That's what I do, but I got no brain anymore, so. Favorite go-to place, right? What was your favorite place to go to in or around Lake Elsinore in the 80s? Some people just like to be on the lake. on the beach, on the lake, on the water. Some people like to go up in the Ortega Mountains. Some like to go to the campground. Some like to go to the falls. Some like to go to Upper Blue Jay. Some people like to go to the caves or the Silca mines. There were a lot of different places that you could run and escape to that were so nearby. Was it the mall? You know, was your favorite place the mall? Tyler Mall. Sprouse Ritz Market. You know, there were a lot of different places that you could claim as a favorite store, a favorite place, a favorite restaurant. Yeah. What was your most memorable event? Local, personal, or personal event, right? Was it your marriage? Was it the birth of your child in the 80s? Did you not have kids or a wife in the 80s? Was it your brother's wedding? Was it a trip to Disneyland? Did you skydive in the 80s? I mean, what was the big thing that happened in Elsinore or to you that you know? So some of these questions are going to lie flat. They're going to go, that's a stupid question. Don't ask that. And then what I might do is just, all right, send me a thumbs up. Send me back the list. Add a thumbs up right next to the number. And then give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You know, or an X. Give me an X. Give me an X and then give me a heart next to the ones you really want to. I don't know. I'll put a key, you know. This key here, all you got to do is tap in and put one of these emojis and then I'll understand. Ask me this, don't ask me this. Definitely ask me this. It's got a heart on it, right? Heart on? Did you say heart on? Yeah, that's what it's got. Yeah, of course. Sure. So my plan is to just keep moving forward every day with something pertaining to the reunion. Now is the time where it's going to be in my thoughts every day, and once a week I'm going to work on it to some extent. The first thing is to get shirts. The second thing is to get shirts available to people, and then the third thing is to start getting shirts out to people. Start bringing in those donations so that I can get the shirt people taken care of. Because once I get the shirt people taken care of, and we kind of reach the explosion point with the shirts, then I think we're going to do pretty good. And as long as we can make sure that people in the group and coming to the event and are invited and are interested, and as long as they all know that you can only get these shirts, even if you see reproductions of these exact shirts, it only means something if you get them directly from the event coordinators. And I need to get other people on the coordinator so that it has an air of reality, right? Oh my God, that person is involved. Well, I'm definitely gonna trust them, right? That's what I need. It's not that I'm untrustworthy. I'm just unknown. Nobody knows me anymore. Oh, that's that weird guy, right? He had that jacket, and the hair, and his hair changed like a million. And wasn't he a devil worshiper or a Hessian or a stoner or a biker or something? He was a weird guy. Yeah. Nobody ever knew me, so they always had some kind of ambiguous idea of who I was, right? Right. He uses words a lot. Yeah. Totally. So the whole live show is going to be key to getting this message out there. I may do a live Facebook feed with a link to the YouTube feed and have the have kind of an over-the-shoulder angle from my phone looking at what I'm doing right here live, and have that video going out live on Facebook with a link to the YouTube but no sound. Have it muted or something. So it's like you have to go to YouTube. You see it on Facebook, you have to go look. You got no sound here, you have to go to YouTube to watch this. And then try to set it up so that it's easily accessible in the Elsinore group. Figure out how to tag multiple people each week. That's going to take some getting used to, right? I'm going to have to go early with the live show, which means I'm going to have to put together a pre-show, an Elsinore Brothers and Sisters live pre-show before the opening credits. So that's going to take some work. Open, close, and a pre-show. The pre-show is important because I need to be able to make sure my live feed is working correctly and there's no hang-ups. I need to make sure that I've got my caller ready and in the wings, so that all I have to do is push a button and we make that call and we're talking. And I have to have time during the pre-show to share the link to the actual show to a couple of different places on Facebook. That's it, right? And I've got to start that live Facebook feed as well and say, look, I'm live. If you want to watch the show, it starts at 6 and you need to go there now. Bada bing bang bing bang boom. And I think I'm going to do it at 6 because 9 to 9:30 Pacific or Eastern is as late as I want to go. Any earlier, and I'm on the West Coast here, if I do it at 5, then I risk people not being at home yet from work. So by 6 o'clock, most people are home from work and hanging out. And I need to capitalize on the right time and the right place. I need to be in the right place. I need to be on my page, and I need to be on the I Grew Up in Elsinore, as well as being live on Facebook and on YouTube. And if I do just a live straight video looking over my shoulder on Facebook, right, just that static shot with no sound, it's going to fly on Facebook. I won't have any hang-ups. I won't have to deal with, any content that I might play. So yeah, I've got to get the pre-show together. Pre-show is going to be, now I gotta jar my brain to come up with what a pre-show is going to look like. What's it going to sound like? So I need to put together like a half an hour video that I can start at 5:30, that takes me to 6 and ends with something that leads us into opening credits. And then do opening credits and opening to the show, and then do a monologue, and then a commercial, t-shirt commercial, and then come back, introduce the second part of the show, segue to our guest, do the 20 questions, talk about shirts. My biggest concern is trying to get a shirt to the guests who are going to be on the show, right? It's like, look, we need to get shirts. Buy a shirt, and I'll get it to you, and we'll put you on the show, and you can talk about your shirt and how easy it was to purchase your shirt, right? Basically, that's it. You know, we're going to probably do it the old-fashioned way. I might work with the girls at the t-shirt shop if they want to handle taking orders, and then taking the donations, right, and then taking their cut and giving me the rest. If they want to do something like that, since we're asking for way more than the shirts are, then once again we got to deal with all the tax and business stuff, and so we may not get into that. I could do them on eBay and just have you go to eBay, and here's how much the shirt is, here's what the shirt is for, it's for donation, you know, here's what you get with your shirt. You can get just a shirt for this much, you can get the shirt and the discount ticket for this much, you can get 2 shirts and 2 discount tickets for this, and 3 shirts and 3 discount tickets for that. But these are the, you know, and then if you go all the way and you get the 3 shirts and the 3 tickets for the 3 days and donate that much, then at the actual event you'll get a swag bag, right? And we're working on stuff for the swag bag. Plus there'll also be drawings, right? And I think what we'll do is you'll get, for every large donation you make to get 1 t-shirt, you'll get your discounted ticket, but you'll also get 10 raffle vouchers, right? So you can put them all into one raffle, or you can split them up between the different raffles. And the raffles are going to be stuff like posters and LPs, what do you call it, tapestries, 8-track tapes, you know, just stereos, TVs, that kind of stuff. Stuff that we're going to dress the set with, and then give a lot of that stuff away. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be, the more I get into the whole, you know, thing, the more I'm overwhelmed, but at the same time excited, and it spurs me off into, ooh, we got to do that too, you know. So, yeah. Reunion, man. Fucking reunion. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Frederick, the Book of Frederick. This is the Minecrafting world that I'm at right now. That's the second world I think I created a little book for. I think it's just about time we get another Switch too. Just about time. I like the ease of a Switch. It's, you know, it's not a lot of memory. It's not real fast. It takes a while to spawn and load stuff, but hey, it's small, it's fun, it's portable, and you can use it at home. So let's see. We're up to 19 preliminary questions on the list here. I need to get with Robert and talk with Robert about a Q&A. Let me go ahead and send him a message. Oh, go away, Kamala Harris. I don't like you or the other asshole. I just don't. Okay? You're all douchebags. You can pretend to be one thing, but you're not. You're just the same. You're just the same. All of you are just the same. We're not the same. It's different. Yeah. You got me convinced. Let's see, Robert. Let's send Robert a message. Okay. And I'm going to assume that he's probably up and out of the house already, probably. He's probably in a car or work truck by now. The glass man. He does the glass work. Oh, look. Looks like he's there. But that'll change. And... no, he's still there. Ah, yeah. Huh. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's a funny guy. Oh, yeah. And there he is. He's alive. But he's probably working. Which means sitting in a car somewhere on the way to work, on the phone. Wee doggy. There it is. It's a tit for tat, yeah. That was funny, Tony. Tit for tat. I get it. I get it. That is not the correct chord. That ain't working there. That's not right. Oh, I bumped the microphone again. Sorry, people. Am I gone? No way. Am I gone? No way. What's this? What's this chord? What's that chord? Ah, jeez. Oh, that's that. That's that other hard drive there. Let's see. Is this? That's not it. Nope. 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 Scooby-Doo-Wop-Doo-Wop. Yeah, I've got to find the... Ooh, what's that? Is that it? That's it. That is it right there. There's the cord. There's that one there. And then I can plug this right into here. Now that microphone is on, and I can turn it off. Okay. Now if I get a call, a video call, I got a microphone ready already. It's ready already. Yeah, baby. Because that's how that works. Yep. Well, doggy. Well, I don't expect that he's going to call because he's busy. Because it is, what, Tuesday? My gosh, everybody in the normal world is out whoosh, slaving away, right? And me, I'm just sitting here doing quaaludes. Mm-hmm. Totally. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm totally serious. I need more yellow legal pads here. Not legal pads, notepads. Legal pads would be great because they're longer. And I probably should have longer ones, but then I have to get longer clipboards. Yo, jeez Louise, right? Oh my gosh. 20 questions, yeah. I need to get with a couple of people and work on some more questions, so I have a little more input. I need to find out how to make some other people co-administrators, co-hosts. My brother seems earnest. I need to get him to put on the thing that yes, he is going, and he and his wife, and get them on there and then make him co-host. I also need to get like 2 or 3 other people on there as co-hosts, influential people who like, oh my gosh, they're going, I'm definitely going. All right, it needs to be like that, so it's no bullshit. You know, if I can get those, my brother and those 3 other people that are right here, then we're good to go. They're good to go. And then get them shirts as soon as possible, right? So that when they come on the show, they can wear their shirt. Totally righteous man. Yep. I'm extreme. I'm just extreme right now. You know, I get the shakes when I start thinking about this seriously. Mm-hmm. And having others on there as co-hosts means that they'll be able to deal with people who, for whatever reason, don't want to be involved because I'm the face of this thing, right? And so I need to remove myself as the face of this thing. And I'm just like the... just the producer. That's it. Just the producer. The promoter. The guy who's just doing this, right? But it's not about me. It's about everybody else. I'm going to have fun on a bun, but it's about everybody else. Because, like I said, there's out of the hundreds of people that I want to be there, there's only a few really that I have any interest in seeing, or have any interest in seeing me, right? So, yeah. It's about everybody else wanting to see everybody else. That's the best I can describe this. And that's it. Just gonna leave that open there so that he knows I'm here. Look, we're in the third hour here. No. Yes, no. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're in the third hour. So we are in it. We just started the third hour. Pretty soon we'll be a third of the way through the third hour. Yeah. Let me go ahead and send a message here. Do some emojis, 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 emojis. There we go. Hi. Did you catch me being a vegetable? Did I mumble to myself? I don't know. Sometimes I just start talking. See, that's why it's easier for me to do this show, because I can just sit here and talk to myself. I don't even remember where I was at for the last 10 minutes or so, I think. Was I picking my nose? I'll go back to the old standard here and smoke some doobage. That'll help. At least I know where I'm at doing that. So yeah, I was just typing out some messages to people this morning. I like to try to take care of business. Hopefully I'm going to hear something on the shirts in the next few days, so I can kind of gauge where I'm at financially at this reunion thing here. And you know, you got to spend money to make money. That's the truth right there. So I'm going to have to come up with some money to spend in order to make some money. And I can't borrow any money, because I can't borrow money and then make money and then pay back money, right? It's like, if you're giving me money, it's got to be in return for a shirt, or it's got to be a donation, right? Because I can't get into the whole, you know, loan me a few bucks so I can print, and then I'll sell some shirt and get them back. You know, it's like, no, that's not going to work. It's about money coming in, transferred to product that's going to make more money, or just being put into savings for the budget. I want to keep it as simple as possible, right? That's why I'm thinking shirts only, or at least the one place, so that all of the merchandise is coming from one place, and I've got one bill to deal with in exchange for all the merchandise that's going to help us raise the money for the reunion, right? That's it. Let's hit it on another one here. Favorite arcade game. That brings up another one. Console game, you know, because we had, I think back there we had a Nintendo, and what was it, Atari Selectavision or something. Okay, MTV, a music video. So what was your favorite music video? There's that dog out there barking, and that poor dog. That poor dog, that stupid lady. Stupid, stupid lady. If I had enough people revolving through my channel, I would ask everybody, what do you think I should do about this lady and her dogs? You know, had I the physical strength, you know, to deal with it, I would just go out, collect the materials free from someplace, you know, pallets and lumber piles and that kind of shit, and then just build the lady a fence for her dogs, right? But I don't have the physical wherewithal to do that anymore. So what do? Come up with a plan and then say, hey, go build her a fence to somebody else? You know, or do I just say, look, fence or no fence, you got to deal with your dogs better. And if it means I got to call the county and have them come give you a warning, an actual written warning, look, you got to deal with your dogs better. You can't leave them in a little fucking cage all day and night. Because that's what she does, and it drives me crazy. I'm a dog lover, and to hear a dog just squealing out there, just, I'm hot, let me in, I don't want to be here anymore. That's all I hear, you know. Other people just hear squawk, squawk, shut up, squawk, squawk, shut up. It ain't like that, you know. Listen to what your dog is saying. The dog is speaking to you. Listen. She don't listen. She don't listen. She don't want to hear what the dog has to say. She wants to think what she wants to think. Ugh. There's that squeak. Poor dog. It like barks itself until it's exhausted. And then lays down and passes out, and then barks itself until it's exhausted again, and then passes. It's like, lady, you're killing me. How do you ignore that when it's right there next to you? Do you just turn up the TV so you don't hear it? Right? I have the TV on, air conditioner on in here during the middle of the day, and I can still fucking hear it. Making me crazy, lady. So yeah, I have half a mind, almost a full mind, to call the county and just say, look, I want to do this anonymously because I don't need to make any enemies here. And it needs to be a warning. You can't just show up and take her dogs. You need to give her a warning and say, look, you need to, we're going to come back and this better have been changed, right? Give them an actual yard, or only bring them out one at a time for that little thing. You know, she'll put 3 dogs in that little pen, and then one of them sits there and squawks till somebody comes by, and then they all start barking. So there's that. There's Robert. Give me a thumbs up. So if I can get him to contact me this evening, and I can nail down some more details, some more shirt stuff, some more questions, send him this list or talk to him about this list and see if he's got any suggestions. Right? Because there's, you know, what's your favorite place on campus? On campus. Because we all had those little spots that we liked to go to, right? I used to go into the very back side of the campus. What was that, Bundy? Up against... It was right up against one of the main streets. And there was a big giant field out there, and it went all the way back, and then there was a hill up behind the corner of the baseball field, behind the back chain link fence thingy, right? So you could walk back there, and then there were a few spots where you could duck behind stuff, and you know, and as long as nobody was looking, you could find those little spots where you could walk behind a building, and you know, for me it was take a couple of hits of pot, man, because that was the only reason I could stay there in school, was to be a little bit high. Why? Because of my depression. If I wasn't, I would be too manic and too nervous, too depressed, too anxious. Yeah. So just about every day from the 9th grade on, I was taking a couple of hits in the morning, and then a couple of hits throughout the day, and then if I was going to go out and socialize with friends afterwards, well, the same thing. I mean, I had to, you know, other kids were doing the same thing with cigarettes and alcohol and other drugs and stuff. With me, it was kind of a steady thing, you know. I was steadily dating Mary Jane. But that's what, you know, I found out at an early age. That's what worked for me. And I wanted to be out in the world. But that part of me that could not mix socially just said, But once I found that I could have that social lubricant, marijuana, I actually had a life. I made friends and did things and enjoyed school to an extent. Without it, I would have been relegated to those special classes where they put the weirdos who don't fit in, who can't concentrate, who freak out at the stupidest thing, you know. I'd be the guy on medication, Ritalin and whatever else they used to give kids to keep them from spazzing out, right? They would totally misdiagnose me and then misprescribe everything, not understanding what my, you know, didn't even understand. I still don't have a better grasp on who I was then than I did then, of course. But yeah, I don't try to figure it out. But nobody else tried to figure it out back then, right? So I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Coffee's cold, I'm saying that. Yep. Yeah. So smoking pot is the one thing that kept me in the mix. It kept me in my classes, kept me happy, kept me sociable. It kept me from being angry all the time, right? Because I would get, I would pay too close attention to how others looked at me and looked down at me and saw me and talked about me and did things to me and behind my back. So it was a lot easier to deal with when I was a little high, right? I could let those things kind of brush off my shoulder a little easier. When I wasn't, I would get enraged, right? And I would contemplate all kinds of stuff, including suicide and retribution and revenge and all these things, and that was no good. But I recognized it early and was able to deviate from those ways of thinking, you know, by smoking pot. Pot kept me out of trouble. Pot kept me from doing all of the other drugs and at least investing myself too deeply in all of the other drugs, right? I drank, but I never drank too heavily. I still don't drink much. I did other drugs, coke and speed and LSD and that kind of shit, but I never really found too much interest in that stuff because it just made me want to smoke more pot. So I was like, well, why don't I just smoke pot and forget about all the other stuff? And that's pretty much what I did. You know, I even went, when I wasn't smoking pot, I smoked way too many cigarettes. And I finally got to the point to where, you know what, I'm smoking pot recreationally and cigarettes like it's my job, right? And now that I'm injured, why don't I just give up the cigarettes and smoke marijuana full time like it's my job? And I'm going to smoke way less marijuana, right? Which is true. If I were smoking cigarettes, I would be smoking at least a half a pack a day. And doing what I'm doing here, I would probably smoke more. I'd be just putting them away. I'd have a cigarette burning in the ashtray all the time, right? So knowing that, there's a huge difference between smoking cigarettes and smoking pot. Yeah, pot smoke is probably worse for you, at least that's what they say, than cigarettes, but I don't believe that. But I can take a hit off of a marijuana cigarette and get everything that I need to out of that versus having to smoke a whole cigarette and then wanting to go back to another cigarette within 15 minutes, right? So that addiction versus taking one or two of these little hit things from my bat box every hour or so, right? Well, that's a whole lot less, right? I mean, I take one of these little hits, you know, in an hour, one or two in an hour, maybe three max in an hour, and I'm good to go. Whereas if I was smoking cigarettes in 1 hour, I would probably smoke 3 to 5 cigarettes in an hour, right? I'd light one, I'd let it sit here and burn, and I'd smoke half of it, and then I'd light another one, and I'd sit there and burn, and I'd smoke half of it, or smoke most of it, take a break and have some coffee and a cigarette, and smoke most of it. So when I gave up smoking cigarettes for marijuana, I knew it was a better choice. It ain't a good choice, it's just the better choice. So that's cool. I like that. And once I started smoking marijuana again, I found out that I hadn't really changed all that much from the person that I was when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. I had done everything that I could to try to be somebody else and to fit into the molds that society had laid out for a person like me. And once I started smoking pot again, I realized that none of that was me. You know, I don't see myself as just being a head pot smoking hippie today, man. But I'm a pot smoker, and it's just a small part of who I am. But it makes me see that the core of who I am really hasn't changed since I was a teenager. It really hasn't. I'm still that same guy. I still joke the same. I still listen to the same music. I still like the same movies. You know, I still use the same slang. I still play the same songs. I mean, everything about me is pretty much the same, except the outside here is a little aged and worn, you know. And maybe that's why I can't hold on to any friends from the past, is because I am unchanging, and maybe that bothers some people. Maybe the fact that I kind of exude, you know, the air of youth, right? Even though I'm bald and old and wrinkled and hairy, I'm a young guy. I mean, I feel like that high school kid. A high school kid in a lot of pain and misery, suffering, but a high school kid nonetheless, right? I've lived a lot of years and put on a lot of mileage and earned a lot of gray hair and wisdom, but at the same time, I'd like to think that I'm still that same goofball guy, you know? I'm forever going to be appreciative of the time that my friend had to come and stay with me, and the time that we got to just sit and laugh and goof and joke and talk, just like the old days, even though it turned out bogus, you know, and I got screwed in the end, emotionally and mentally. Had nothing to do with money. It may have felt like that on his end, but I did everything possible to make sure it wasn't about money. Even telling him, look, I'm not looking for a payback. Get your shit together. That's a payback, you know. And I know I'm never going to see any financial return on that investment in him. But it was never that, you know. I got rewarded with that period of time where we were able to just sit and joke and laugh ourselves to tears, right? Just like the old days, and feel like it was just like the old days. So I'll be forever grateful for that, and forever bummed out that it wound up the way it did, you know, not my doing. And that's just the way it is, right? Do I hope that person comes to the reunion? Yes. Do I want to see that person at the reunion? No. But you know, for their sake and for the sake of everybody else, I hope that they come, that one person. There's the trash man. You know, all those people need to be there, regardless of whether they like me or not. You know, it ain't about me. I gotta figure out key graphics. Downstream key. Or upstream key. I don't know. Downstream key. I think it's going to be downstream. I think it's going to be the downstream on this end going out rather than coming in. But then again, I may wind up having to switch live program, right? Live video program here and go to the DaVinci. If I can do DaVinci Live and get better effects and that kind of stuff, then that's what we're going to do. And I need to try to do that before the Elsinore show, so that Elsinore show is kind of a boom. Hey, this is big. This is cinematic. It's dramatic. It's heavy duty stuff, babies. All right, I'm gonna heat up this coffee so I get the most enjoyment. Sweet and hot. Okay. So let's see. I've got to come up with next week's content. X-1s are done. Most of the radio shows are done. I've got a few movies already waiting in the wings, so it should be relatively easy to put together next week and to get it uploaded. I'm mainly concerned about Friday's video time machine and getting that, the copyright stuff dealt with so that I don't get froze out during the middle of my show. Because it's different live. If it catches onto something live that it's not quite sure of, it'll just cut the stream, which is what happened Friday. During the last quarter of the show, it just said later. And then I had to come back and do a part 2, and it was kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. So I've shortened. The video time machines are going to be a part of the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia, but they're not going to be half the show. They're just going to be a portion of the show. Like The Simpsons on, what's that show that The Simpsons started on? Anybody? 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 That English broad, right? What was her name? Anybody? Anybody? The, what's your show? Anybody? All right. So let's see. I've got a little bit more in here to do. I need to take photographs of yearbooks and then scan some of the pages. I need to dig up some more old photographs of Elsinore and the surrounding areas. And yeah. My brain is just on overdrive. It's overdriving. It's driving me crazy is what it's fucking doing. Yeah, this coffee is like crack to me, you know? It is. Damn stupid crackhead. Totally. Let's see. I don't have to worry about Minecraft until next week. I may get on a little bit early and do some map making. sweet and hot. Sweet and hot. It's got to be sweet. It's got to be hot. Okay, so we've just about finished up the Q&A. I will probably get at least 10 more questions from my brother. And I'll get a few more shirt ideas from my brother. Okay. I'll have to dig into my own photos. I believe I have some photos of the 1976 Bicentennial Parade, and some Boy Scout photos, some of Robert's baseball photo stuff. So if I can put together some random photos of Elsinore in the 70s and 80s, some group photos, some photos that really don't focus in on one person necessarily, but kind of the period. Some more elements from the 70s and 80s. Boy Scouts. Parade. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be great. So I still got a week or so to because this Elsinore Brothers and Sisters live is not going to go live until it is perfect. Right? It's got to be perfect so that when it goes live, it has very little room for error, and I get as much taken care of ahead of time as possible. Right? And since I've done so much of this live stuff and created so many videos, it should be run-of-the-mill. You know, it should be pretty basic, as long as everything is mapped out for that half an hour. So, you know, even reading out everything and timing how it's read so that it takes up the right amount of time. You know, ask all of the questions. Ask each question. Here's this question. Here's this question. Here's in the manner that I'm going to ask the question. And add up all of the time it takes to ask the 20 questions. Factor in the answers to those questions are going to be probably twice as long as the asking. So I'll work that out so that I've got the correct amount of time set aside in the show so that we give the show about a half an hour. I want to make it a good half an hour show. Nothing long, nothing stretched out and boring. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Just get everything out there. Look, it's about the reunion. Here's the shirt information. Here's a guest to back me up. You know, get with me, and we'll talk about shirts. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Because at this point, tickets, aside from ticket sales, the day of the events, aside from ticket sales, this is the only other way that we can raise money ahead of time. At some point, when we get close, I may set up some kind of payment thing so that you can get shirts easier through donations, and then I may actually do a what do you call it? A telethon. Do a live telethon trying to raise money. Look, this is how much money we've raised. We need to get from this to this. Or look, we've raised a lot of money, but we're still short this amount. Let's raise this amount. I might, toward the end, do a short fundraiser through crowdsourcing. At the end, I might put the shirts on eBay to bring in that money quicker. But at first, I'm going to try to keep it simple and keep it off the books, so that we can raise as much money as possible without putting a huge hit on my tax bracket, right? Because we're poor, and if I start screwing around, then it screws up. Really, it screws up my daughter's eligibility, right, for anything. She's got a poor family. She's eligible for a lot of stuff. You got a family that's making X amount of dollars, then everybody wants money from you. That's all there is to it. You got no money, they don't want nothing from you. They give you stuff. And I'll happily remain poor so that she can go to school. You know, it's getting close to where she's going to pretty much be on her own as far as financial responsibility for school, right? Because she's just about 20. Just about 20. She's about a week and a half away. That's great. So yeah, I can't show a bunch of income, and I refuse to. But I also have to raise, you know, a big giant chunk of money. So if most of it comes in cash, and I'm constantly funneling it off to merchandise creation, product development, that kind of shit, then we do have a chance of snowballing a huge amount of money for this thing, right? And bringing the cost of the daily tickets down. I want to make it ultra affordable so that when we get down to it, I can say, look, you know, I thought the prices were going to have to be here, but because we raised so much money, the price of the ticket can now be here because we've already paid for the venue, we've already paid for everything. Now we just need you to show up. So we'll put the, you know, 80s ticket prices, you know, $20. I'd love it if the ticket prices were $20 a head. That's it. You know? Try to be fucking bitching. I'd love it if one night it was just adults only, where no kids are scheduled to be there, and we can tap a keg, you know? Fucking A. At some point during the run of the live shows, some of the guests will be the intended live music entertainment people. Yeah. The Thieves Like Us, if they're going to be there, I want them on the show at some point, possibly doing a song, 20 questions and then a song. We could do that. That'd be great. That'd be fucking awesome, in fact. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, it's getting time to wind this show up for the day, and I won't be back until tomorrow morning. And hopefully I'll get a bunch of stuff done here today from my post-its. First of all, I'm going to edit and re-upload Friday's Video Time Machine and try to get that past the censors so that I don't get booted live, right? Oh, that's a bummer. So I'll upload it again, look at the different things, see who's a possible hit for later, and then maybe re-upload it, edit and re-upload it again. I don't know. It's worth the hassle so that when I'm live, I don't get canceled, right? Because that sucks. But I also have to put in the description, look, if I get canceled, and then in the comments, if I get canceled due to copyright, look for my new live stream, because I'll be back with a part 2 to finish it up. Unless it's the last thing on the time machine. Then I'll just say, okay, that was it. You know. So, yeah.
That's great stuff right there.
That's a groovy story, man.
You tell stories like that a lot on this? Just shut up.
Ain't nothing. I wasn't saying nothing, man. Yeah, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of that and bring up the whole goodbye closer, and we'll yeah, we'll get ready to load that. And I got to get my daughter to order her earplugs for October. Find me a cane with a seat on it, and get us a couple of nights in Vegas, so that we can go to that When We Were Young festival, right? Because I ain't gonna feel so young. Yeah. And I'm still assuming that there's the distinct possibility that she can get somebody to go with her for the full day, rather than me for half of the day. If somebody's going to go for the full day, they can have my ticket. If somebody's only going to go for half the day, I want the ticket, because I want to go for that last half of the day. So hopefully it'll go either way. My daughter wants to go for the whole thing, because she's not sure who's playing what for the smaller acts. So, yeah. And I'm hoping the acts that I want to see are going to be all kind of bunched up in the evening. We'll see. We'll see. I guess we'll get a lineup a day or so before the show, and we'll know who's who and what's what, and where's where, and when's when, and why's why, and
all that other shit.
Right? Right. So, shirts, videos, Halloween, opens and closings and pre-shows and t-shirt commercials, editing and re-uploading, trying to figure out how to do downstream key so that I can bring up images onto my computer without having to go to the graphics computer. I want something hanging in front of my face right here that says, hey, look at me, you know? So I need to figure out all that. So I've got a lot of stuff to keep me busy today, plus the usual crap. I've got some more cleaning and organizing to do in here. I got to get out and deal with my van. I got to get out and deal with that little car down there and get rid of that. I've got to deal with things out in the yard and a million things. I'm waiting for it to cool off, though. I'm not a summer person. I'm not a hot guy. So once things start cooling off, I think I'll get more done. I'm starting to get there now. I'm starting to pick up momentum now, because it's starting to get a little closer to fall, right? That fall weather. That's what I want. All right. Well, I guess it's time to cue up the end credits and start wrapping this show up, because it's that time of the morning. I gotta get out of here. Put my pants on and go out and do something. First of all, it's breakfast. Gotta have breakfast. Once I have breakfast, then I can get some stuff started here, and then start working on other things. Oh, this list. That's the list right there. Dig up all these elements. Elements, elements, elements. All right, people. I want you all to take care. Be nice. Be kind. Spread peace and love. Not bullshit. I will see you in the morning. So be sure to stop by and hang out. And, you know, most especially stay weird, because if you ain't weird, nobody's going to do it for you. You got to be weird, man. All right. Love you, people. Take care. Adios. I'll be back. Later.